welcome to Rise and Shine Yoga. Happy Thursday morning, Thursday afternoon, Thursday evening, whatever time of day you've got going on. Hope you have your beverages. I somehow have 2 beverages down here, but 2 is totally fine. You can have 4 if you want. And we're gonna start nice and easy, as always, in the position of your choice. I know sometimes it takes a little extra effort to get to the mat. I know I was just all over the place, finding small other things to do instead of doing yoga, even though I was like, I know my body needs it. But I was like, oh, I need to vacuum, oh, I need to do this, oh, I need to start laundry, all that sort of stuff. You gotta just put it on pause and do it, which fortunately is beneficial because this is a recorded video. You can watch it whenever you want, but you gotta find the time for yourself. So I was definitely doing that today. And I know that happens for you too. So thank you for joining. Thank you for taking the time for yourself. And let's spend a few minutes just relaxed, refreshed, and get into the proper mindset for yoga. All right, 2 breaths wherever you are. And then we're going to come to a cross-legged position. I'm going to continue to sit on my block. Feel free to have something that's bringing your hips up just for comfort. No, not. Totally up to you. And for some people, being in this position is difficult enough. So if you are in that position yourself today, just be gentle with yourself. Find something that works for you. If this is not difficult for you, maybe you put a little pressure on your knees. Maybe you don't sit up on an elevated source. Got fuzzies all over myself, but that's okay. Let's walk those hands forward. You gotta getting yourself to the mat no matter what you're wearing, what you're looking like, what you're wearing. Come up and twist. Especially this class, you can be in your pajamas, no problem. Switch. You can be in your work clothes, no problem. As long as you can comfortably move, that's all we care about. Back to the center. Let's switch out those legs. Find some stillness first. And then walk those hands forward. Twist. And twist. Come back to the center. Bring those knees in and bring those legs out. Toes pointed up to the ceiling. If you can see my toes. I'll step on my block. And I'm just going to lean forward. Drop that head. Come on up. Put one hand on each side of that leg and walk it down. And come up. And switch it out. Other side. Come on up, you can bend those knees. Give yourself a big hug. Turn and face one way. And turn and face the other way. And come to the center, point that chin up and out. And release. All right, I'm going to come off my block. Just going to put it off to the side. And I'm going to lay on my back. And give those knees a big squeeze. And I'm going to rock a little side to side. And then when I feel like I got my wiggles out, I'm going to bring those feet up. So I have a nice right angle here between the ground and my legs, a nice angle, right angle here at my knees. And if you want to bring it to your feet too, that's perfectly fine. I'm just going to want my feet just nice and relaxed. So this is our neutral point. We're going to drop one foot down, come up, one foot down and up. When I'm up, you can only see one foot because they're perfectly in line with each other. I'm not like this. Down and up and down and up. You can put your hands down by your side, totally fine. Just make sure you have no gap in the small of your back. If you want to do doubles, you can. Totally optional. A little bit more than a rise and shine class, but it's your class, so you do what you want, doubles or singles. Do not hold your breath. We're going to do 2 more each side. Just holding your legs up here and activating the core is a workout in itself sometimes. It's a lot to think about. One more. All right, bring those feet down. Bring those knees out to the side, hands on the belly. Deep breath in and deep breath out. All right, let's straighten those legs. I'm going to take my right leg, cross it over my left leg, and I can bring it towards the left quarter of my mat. And then that right arm goes over the head and grabbed by my left hand, side body stretch. Release, and let's switch it out. So the same thing, except my left foot is crossed over my right, and it's my left arm that's up over the top, and I'm towards the right side of my mat. Release and come back to center. Bend those knees, cross one leg over the other. Grab behind that thigh, bring that leg straight out, and you can decide, is your head down or is your head up? You decide. And release. And let's switch it out. Other side. Same thing. Decide where you want that head. Just make sure it's equal on both halves. And release. Let's lay on our side. Let's bring those knees in. Big squeeze. And then take that top foot and grab it. Quad stretch. Release. I'm just going to roll over and do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to bring those knees in for a nice big hug first. And then I bring that foot on the top and bring it back for a quad stretch. And release. Roll onto your belly. And come up to Sphinx. Take a couple seconds here. Relax, move around the body, move around the neck. And then tuck those toes under and come into tabletop. Or we'll do a couple of cat-cows. Moving at your own pace, of course. When you come to cat, stay there, exaggerate the stretch. Find stillness or find movement in it. And then come to cow. Same thing. Do what's organic and natural for you. All right, if those toes are not already tucked, tuck them and push back on to the feet. Give yourself a nice foot stretch. And then push yourself farther back. So you're in a really low squat or a toe stand. And if you're here kind of in a ball, that's totally fine. I want you to try to push yourself up. Maybe have your hands on your legs, maybe not. They can be here. If your hands are on your thighs, put your fingertips on the ground and push yourself up nice and slow. Head is hanging. You're saying yes, you're saying no, your arms are spaghetti, all that good stuff. And we're gonna roll on up, nice and slow. Get to the top, fix your pants, fix your shirt, grab some water, all that stuff. Roll the shoulders. just come into mountain. Give you a couple seconds here to do anything that you need to do. Ooh, it's chilly. Gotta chill. And let's cross one leg over. Arm up over the top, just like we did when we were laying down. And release. And other side. And release. Second stretch we did when we were laying down. Hold on for balance. Cross one foot over. And you decide, are you here? Can you bend that stabilizing leg? And maybe you fall forward. Maybe you don't. Once you're situated, then you have the decision. Do you let go or not? It's going to depend on a lot of factors. And if you need to hold on, hold on. Don't break stuff. And roll on up, nice and slow. Yes, I wasn't very graceful for me, so we're going to try on the other side. And I'm going to hold on the whole time this time, because there's no shame in holding on. Cross it over. Are we going to sit back into that squat? And are we going to stay up? Or are we going to lean forward? You decide. And if you want to let go, please do so. I'm not. Learn my lesson. And I'm going to roll up. Wonderful. Okay. Let's get a little bit more movement, get a little bit more blood flow. I'm freezing. I want to warm up a little bit. I should have put my socks on. All right. Arms out. And then arms in. And arms out. And arms in. We're almost doing like a reverse fly motion. But we're going out and in like we're a big breathing blob. Next time we're down, we're going to hold it there. And we're going to go one side and in. And the other side and in. One side and in. Other side. One more each side. And then roll it on up. Come to the middle to back end of your mat. Bring those arms up. Little bit of a back bend. And forward. Little swan dive down. Hands on the ground. Bend those knees. And bring those hands to the top of the thighs, straighten out that back. Roll it back down, bring those hands to the ground. Step one foot back, step the other foot back, bring those knees to the ground. Back into child's pose. 3 breaths. Come on back through tabletop. Tuck those toes under. Come into downward dog. 3 breaths here. And then walk those feet in. Come to a halfway lift, flat back. Bring those hands back to the ground. And we're going to roll up. nice and slow. We're gonna do that 2 more times. We're gonna add a breath each time. So we did 3 breaths. Next time we're gonna do 5 breaths, and the next time we're gonna do 7 breaths, okay? So let's bring those arms back and dive it on down. Bring those hands to the ground. And then come to a halfway lift. Bring those hands back down. 1 foot back, the other foot back, and come down to your knees. Let's sit back into our child's pose for 5 breaths. Knowing that whatever the breath count you do in child is also the breath count we're going to do in down dog. All right, press back up through tabletop. Tuck those toes under. Downward dog. 5 breaths. And then walk those feet in nice and slow. Come back up. Flat back. Bring those hands down and super slowly roll all the way up. 1 more time. You know it. 7 breaths this time. Bring those arms back, little back bend. So 1, dive down. Hands to the ground. Hold it here for a second. Then come on up. Back nice and flat. Hands down. Walk it back. And then come to your tabletop. Push it back. 7 breath. Child's pose. Through tabletop and into downward dog. Really give yourself a chance to stretch here. Remember, downward dog is a resting posture. Although sometimes it may feel like it's not. 1 more breath. And walk the feet in. Flat back. Hands down. And roll it on up. I'm gonna grab a drink real quick. I suggest you do too. Refreshing. All right, let's shake it out. And we're gonna do some ab work, core work. Of course, the core is all of the body because that's what the core connects to the legs. The core connects to the back, the core connects to the chest, and connects to the arms. So core is everything, but we are going to do a little extra core today. So let's go back down to the ground. So bring those arms up, down, bring those hands to the ground. If you'd like to go to plank this time, please do so. And then super slow, lower it all the way to the ground. Put that forehead on the ground for a second. Let those shoulders fall forward. Wiggle those hips a little side to side. And then push yourself back through to tabletop. All right, so we're gonna do some bird dogs. We're gonna do 2 rounds. We're gonna do the bird dog on our knees and on our hands. For sure, everybody. Then we're gonna do a little bit of some fire extinguishers, and then we're gonna go back to those bird dogs. If you want to then go into plank and do them in plank, you can. Otherwise, we're all just doing a second set on our knees and our hands, okay? So totally your call. All right, so move some of this out of the way. I'm gonna go a little diagonal here. All right, so as a little refresher, we are here in our tabletop. We're gonna bring one leg back. So in this case, I'm bringing my left leg back. It's gonna be up in the air, and my right hand is gonna be up in the air like I'm shaking someone's hand, thumb up. And I'm gonna come down, and I'm gonna go up. So I can either tap down and up, or I can come in and out, your choice. Let's all do the in and outs right now, and then I'll let you pick wherever you want for the second side. All right, so we're gonna do 10 nice and slow. So I'm gonna do my left leg and my right arm. You choose what you wanna do to make sure they're opposite sides, and let's go. 1 and 2. You can decide, do they actually touch down and reset, or do they just hover? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and reset. So when I started doing my exercises, my hand was a little bit farther forward on the mat. When I was about halfway through the exercises, I realized it and transitioned it so it's right below the shoulder. So you might need to do something similar. You're doing the exercise and you're like, something doesn't feel right. Let me look, let me reassess what I'm doing. And maybe you're not in alignment. So I know I definitely wasn't. So check, see if you are. So we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So I have my right leg behind my right leg behind, and my left arm is gonna go up in the air. So we're gonna do 10 nice and easy. So let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, and 10. Beautiful. Sit back, take the pressure off those wrists for a second. We're gonna go into some fire extinguishers. So I'm gonna have my arms kind of bent, and I'm gonna put the pressure on my forearms just so I give those wrists a little chance to take a break. If that's too low for you, you could always put a block here. So I'm here doing the motions instead of down here. It's totally your call. I think maybe I will use the block. It seems kind of comfortable, so maybe I will since it's right here. But it's just totally optional. You definitely don't have to. Either way, the movement's going to be the same. We're going to bring those knees out to the side. So we're going to come out and in. So if I was facing forward, just so you have a rough idea what I'm going for, I'm going up and in. So 10 to one side, and then up and in, 10 to the other. One side might have a little bit more height than the other. Obviously, we don't want that in a perfect world, but we understand that obviously one side is going to be tighter than the other. So do your best. If you have a mirror and you can see that they can match or as close to it, that's great. but that's not also practical for a lot of people too. So do what you can do. We're gonna do 10 nice and slow, and then we'll do our second set of bird dog. So I'm just gonna be here on my forearms, giving my wrists a chance to wiggle and relax. All right, I'm gonna start with side A. So I'm gonna come out and in. Same thing. You decide, does it actually touch down, or is it just kind of hovering? And that stabilizing leg is working. For 8, 9, and 10. Release, shake it out a bit, and let's sit up for side 2. So let's go out through. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Beautiful. Sit back. Let's do a little spinal twist. Big breaths. And the other way. Back to the center. Okay, we're ready for our second round of bird dogs. And remember, with this one, you can be in plank, doing those bird dogs. You can be on your knees and your hands, doing the same thing we did the first round. Or we can do them just lifting and lowering versus coming in and out. You decide, your practice, your body, your exercise, you pick, okay? But the concept still applies as far as everything else goes, making sure we're in alignment and we're doing everything to the best of our ability, even if that means I want to do 10, but I'm only going to end up doing 8. That's okay. All right, so let's decide. We're going to do, I'm just going to go up and down. That's what I think I'm going to do. You can join me. You don't have to. All right, make sure that also the shoulder is back and down. You're not super up close to your ears. All right, whatever we're doing, we're starting in 3, 2, 1. Because everyone's doing their own thing, everyone's going to finish at their own time. So we'll give a couple seconds at the end for everyone to catch up. And when you're done, sit on back, take the pressure off those wrists, grab a little drink. And we're gonna set up for side 2. All right, and when you're ready, I'm gonna go in 3, 2, and 1. And when you're ready, relax, shake out, move around those wrists. Bring those hands in front, cross your arms over, and pull one hand down. You should feel a nice stretch release. And I'll do the same thing on the other side. Release, bring that arm around. My fingers pointing out, shoulder back and down. And switch it out. And release. One more ab exercise. Sit on back, bring those feet in front of you. Slide mine out. Back on my little back square. All right, so we are going to do some sit backs. So we're going to do the nice and slow and controlled. You decide how far you want to go back. So we're going to have our hands here. If you want to release them, you can. Otherwise, we're sitting back and we're holding for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Coming on up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Okay, so we're going to do that 5 more times. You decide. Do you just want to do the same level every single time? Totally cool. Or you just keep on sliding farther and farther back into your V-sit with a nice flat back and both hips on the ground the whole time. So we're pulsing 5, leaning back, and then we're sitting up and we're pulsing 5 times. Okay? All right, now let's decide. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sit yourself up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. A level 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Roll it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Round 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sit on up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Round 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Roll it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Roll it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Roll it all the way back. Give those knees a hug. Do some circles. Hard part is over. Other way. And drop those knees to one side. And come back to the center. Drop those knees to the other side. Come back to your center. Option to do what you just did or cross that leg over. Drop it again, and this time open up that chest. Release those arms, come on up. Cross it over, drop them to the other side. Open up that chest. bring those knees in one more time. Bring that head up. And let's set ourselves up for our Shavasana for today. Getting yourself nice and comfy and cozy. We're gonna be here for 3 minutes. All right, wiggle those fingers, wiggle those toes. Bend one knee. And bend the other knee and drop to the side. Give yourself a big hug. And use that top arm to push yourself up to a seated position. Just rock a little side to side, drop that head. Turn one way. Back through center. Turn the other way. And back through center. And opening your eyes back up to whatever morning, afternoon, or evening you left 45 minutes ago. So have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you so much for coming. And remember, we have these longer classes that are 45 minutes. We also have the Yin on Fridays. And we have the shorter Yoga Express on Tuesdays. So if you're looking for a little bit of a shorter routine, check that out. Have a great day, and I'll see you next week.